Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show. I am just finished eating dinner, home from work. Took off my fancy clothes, put my crappy clothes on. I always put my crappy clothes on when I'm playing with ink. So, I wanted to show you guys how I managed to do a video every day when I come home from lunch. So, I just finished dinner. Come up. Choose the next day's ink. Pull out all my books. Oh, stay up there. Okay. Okay. And we're going to start with tomorrow's ink. So, first thing that I need to do is get everything set up. Alright, that is full on saturated. Company makes this. Oh, Sailor, really? Okay. This is really pretty. Hi Renee, how are you doing today? Are you having a nice day? I miss you. I haven't seen you in so long. I am starting tomorrow's ink review. This is what I do every day when I come home. I watch either a TikTok or a YouTube video, and then I start the next day's review. How you been? How you been? How's the family? Today was a nice day. I didn't have to deal with too many people or too many idiots, which is always a good day. Most of the people I've been seeing lately have been pretty brilliant scientists, and they know who they are, so but every once in a while there's that one person that's constantly having a dumbass attack. I want to smack him upside the head and be like, we had this conversation already. You would think that you would remember after the 1200th time. Family's doing okay, that's good. How does it go? No news is good news? Ooh, this is a really pretty ink. Oh, I like that a lot. This one is already reminding me of another ink I just got in the mail yesterday. I've had this one for a while, and I thought I would do these little tiny samples. Don't let them get to you. I've been doing this I've been doing this job for 16 years. I have had people spit in my face. I have been slapped. I was almost punched, but somebody stepped in front of their fist, non-intentionally. Needless to say, I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Very few actual things scare me. Being a physician in a big city sometimes leads to people being drunk and disorderly, or having an episode, a mental episode, and some physicians having a mental episode. So it happens. If you haven't had a mental episode in a while, count your blessings. Just saying. Oops, I'm going to leave that off because I'm going to do the thing now. Alright, now we have to move this over here. Okay, we gotta make room. Why is this out here? I don't even know. I have had kind of a stream of bad luck lately. Things go so bad that all you can do is laugh. So first, the battery on my keyboard died. I didn't have any more AAA batteries, so I had to buy AAA batteries. Meanwhile, I had to use my plugged keyboard, which is slightly different in orientation, and I kept pushing the space bar on my laptop because this sits on top of my laptop, but I hate using the very small keys because I can't feel like I'm pushing them, and sometimes they don't push, and I type very fast. So then the second thing was my electric pen died. My pen died. This is a quadruple A battery. Yes, quadruple A battery, so I'm still waiting on that battery to be delivered. It's on its way from China. Who knows how long it will take to get here. And then my Beats headphones broke. So I had to buy new headphones. And then Sunday my bed broke for no apparent reason except that I was doing laundry. So it's been a very crazy 2 weeks. On top of it, and this is like just after coming back from sabbatical. Yeah, my bed broke. I had the house manager come in and I'm like, I can't lift the bed and see what's underneath it all in one. So I'm going to lift the bed and you look at it and see if there's anything, what's wrong with it. It just went boonk, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, did you all just, because I was on a Zoom call when it happened. I was like, did you guys just see that? And they're like, what did you do to your bed? And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I was folding laundry. I wasn't even doing anything funny. Oh, made me so mad. So, I'm probably going to have to buy a new bed frame. Hi, Bumblebee. How are you doing today? I don't know who I ticked off, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Like an asshole. Just kidding. Oh, I like this ink a lot. It's pretty. Would it be better if you were being funny? Yeah, I know. It would have been hilarious. Good, thanks, Brown. Well, other than the bed luck, yeah, everything other than it's all of the little things that are piling up right now. But other than that, I feel fine. I'm doing very well. Things at work are going swimmingly. Hello, Chaz. How are you doing today? Are you having a nice day? Best to you and your wonderful work. You've given me such a great ideas for ink. Oh, that makes me so happy. I have over a thought. I was just looking at my, I'll show you what I was looking at. I was just looking at my row of inks over here, and I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna need a bigger box. It's starting to be squidgy, and that's about all the room I've got left before I'm gonna need to find a bigger box. And before anybody says it, I know, I have too many things. It's fine. It's fine. I can still go up, right? I haven't gone up yet. What is this? Field Notes Journal. Sure, sell some ink and you'll get more room. Well, the problem with selling ink, here, I'll show you. The problem with selling ink is when I'm done with it, there's about that much left, which is about 1.5 milliliters, which really isn't worth much. Or there's like a dribble, and then I turn it into art. These are all of the inks that have been dropped out. Alexa, stop. Been dropped out, and I'm gonna make smush art with them. But I have to wait till they dry completely. The bed broke, or does it have slats? So it doesn't have slats. It's like I'll draw you a picture. Oh, God, excuse me. So, is this a good color? What was today's ink? Bluegrass velvet. No. We'll go with this one. So, the bed is shaped like this, right? And it's got wheels at the bottom. And then these have little things like this, right? And then these are bars. And each of the bars, okay, this is the long sideways view. So this bar goes out to like here, right? And this bar goes out to like here. So and there's like a bolt going through this bit here, holding it together. So the top looks like this and the bottom looks like that. And one of them has a pin that goes through it like this. Right? Okay, and so one of these bars got bent right there. And so I'm told that the maintenance man might be able to fix it, but I don't have the muscle power to do it by myself. I have to lift the bed, I have to stick a stick under there. I don't have a stick. Or I need like a burly man to like hold it up while I fix it, or something. A couple of burly men. So that's what's happening with my bed. I don't know what happened to it. It's broken. I keep writing a lowercase and then an uppercase. I don't know why. It looks like a Hollywood frame. I don't know what that means, but I'll take your word for it. Go to the burly men. Yes, that's what I said. I told the house manager, I said, if I pull it up, can you look at it and see if it can be fixed? And he said that he think it can be fixed, so I'm hoping that they can send a repair team to fix it. Right now it's on a glass block. Why am I so close in? Right now it's on glass blocks, so it's not falling down totally. So, what did everyone eat for dinner? I did it again. I forgot to have a... Okay, love you, bye. Have a nice day. Nice to see you. Take care. Beef, potato, and spinach Rogan Josh. Was Josh delicious? And if he was, can you send him my way? I haven't had a Josh in a long time. Hi, Robin. How are you? Hi, Bob and Robin. How are ya? How you been? How you been? Haven't seen you in ages. How you doing? I think of you every time I hear that song. You know, I'm gonna make it a joke now. Every time I hear that song, I'm gonna message you on Facebook. I'm thinking about you. We're playing your song. Based on where the food comes from, we would probably be a South Asian Indian. I don't know what that means. A South Asian Indian. You mean like a Tibetan monk? Or like a... Rogan Josh is an Indian meal. Rogan Josh. I'm probably not even saying it correctly. Oh, I can't use my keyboard. Stupid internet. Let's see if I can. Rogan Josh. Oh. He looks delicious. Oh, I must say. South Asian, so you didn't think I meant American Indian. Oh. Well, they might have trying to think of an American Indian word. Or an American Indian name. Maybe they have Little Bear Josh. Who knows? You don't know. let's see. What's going on this week? I need to go pick up some pills. Probably the end of the week. I have like 7 more days, but they always say to come get them early. I need to go to a meeting on Friday at the hospital at 10 a.m. What else? Taco Tuesday was yesterday. It was delicious. Oh, so did you go through the Patreon, Andy, and see the dip pen calligraphy class? I watched half of it so far. Oh, that's really good. Half of a video or half of the series? Because there's like 5 or 6 of them. Oh, God. A video. When I searched for dip pen, it only showed one. Well, I'll show you. When you go to the Patreon, you'll get to this page, right? And you gotta scroll all the way down. It's quite a little bit of scrolling. Then you'll get to the load more. And then you gotta scroll some more. And then you get down to load more, load more. And then you scroll some more. This is the calligraphy for beginners course that I did. And then I did some fountain pen and the basic improve your handwriting. Here we have one dip pen calligraphy class, capital letter practice, fountain pen ink, flourishing, dip pen calligraphy line and spacing height, day 7 practice. So there's a whole bunch of dip pen calligraphy classes for you. If you guys are thinking about joining the Patreon and you're not sure about, the $5 a month, it's $5 a month. You're never going to find it any better anywhere on the internet. People charge hundreds of dollars for these classes. And I think that if you've never tried calligraphy before, that my classes are an excellent source of beginner classes. But once you get up to like a certain level, then you can be like, okay, I don't need this class anymore, unsubscribe. I don't want anyone to pay for something that they're not gaining knowledge out of. Because sometimes it's the teacher. They're not teaching you what you need to know. And sometimes the teacher hasn't planned the next lesson of the thing that you might need to know. So it's a very tricky situation of, should I stay subscribed to this person? Should I bugger off and go get a different teacher for the same type of thing? Maybe they can teach the final lesson first and see how I'm supposed to do the thing. But everyone learns differently. Sometimes it just takes a little time to figure out what you want to learn and how you want to learn it. Some people are like Data from Star Trek. Doctor, teach me the end lesson. And then she teaches him the end lesson and he can do it right then and there. I think that certain people have that savantness. They can just see the way something is done and they can do it. I remember the first time that I ever picked up my dip pen. I picked up my oblique pen holder, and I had my blue pumpkin in it, and I didn't know anything about how to work the pen or anything. I just had a couple of spattering issues, and then I worked out if you hold the flange flatter to the paper, it didn't spatter as much. And so then I kind of did some figure eights and some moving around the page, and it was gliding just nice, and then I tried to dip the ink, and it wouldn't hold, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? So I learned how to prepare a nib, and to prepare a nib, you either need boiling water or a flame, and it's very controversial whether people use a flame, because it doesn't take a whole lot to get the oil off. Where is my fire device? Here you are. This is a warning right now, don't play with fire, folks. So, if you have a lighter, maybe my thing is dead. Possibility. Nope, it's dead. This one. Okay, that one works. So, flame, 1 Iana, 2 Iana. That's it. That's all it should take. Take some paper towel, put some water on it. Do not put this in from hot to cold. Don't do it. That will break the temper. Just let it come down to room temperature, and then wipe away the underside and the overside of the nib. You can even do it to the overside too. But it shouldn't take any more than that. Any enough just to warm the nib up, so that the oil from the process to keep the nib from rusting comes off. And of course, this should not be hot to the touch. Why did you see the thing is off to the side again? This is called an oblique nib holder. Why is it off to the side? So, let's see. Oh, I also want to show you that you can use watercolors with your dip nib. Is that still wet? No, probably not. Put that there. A little drop of water. A couple of drops in there. Non-fancy water brush. Give that a little zhuzh. Get that right up in there. So this is not the way that you want to write. You don't want to write with your wrist hanging off to the right. You don't want to have to come down like this, because you're gonna hurt your wrist. This is one of the first reasons that calligraphers have carpal tunnels, because they're overextending this bone here. If you actually put your wrist this way, hold your finger above it, and you can feel the bone come up. That first bone right there is being overextended, and that's why you get carpal tunnel. So you make your paper adhere to the writing and not the other way around. You want to be able to hold this so that way you don't have to do this to your paper. Some people can write like this with a straight nib holder, which is fine. You can write with a straight nib holder. You can do the same things. Only you don't have to tilt it as much. Same thing. One of the great things about the oblique nib holder is that you can actually see where the nib touches the page. Let me see if I can show you. I'm looking at my nib, right? This is my angle I can see. I can see where my nib is actually touching the paper with my eyes. But if I were to use my straight nib holder and angle the page, I can't see hardly at all what's going on underneath my thumb. So that is why we use the oblique nib holder. Of course, I don't mind turning my page on the side, so it's all about preference and learning to write. However is most comfortable to you. Okay? I prefer writing with a straight nib holder because it's most like a fountain pen. So okay. When I'm using a flexi fountain pen, just dipped my finger into ink. Brilliant scientist. Ugh. When I'm writing, I don't have to keep my page so angled. I still angle my page because I want it to come from the middle of my body, and then when I release my arm, I want it to come towards my shoulder, because that is the proper angle for easy flexibility. Because you can splay the tines going this way, but this is away from me, right? Again, I can't see what's going on underneath my thumb. So, let's see, that's from my eye view, right? And if I'm writing over here, I can't see what's going on under my thumb. You want to be able to see what's going on underneath your nib. That is the main reason why we tilt the page. That way we can see where the nib is hitting the paper. And we're not making any guesses of where anything is being done. The other reason that people use the oblique nib holder is so that they can do something called ornamental penmanship. When you're writing with a straight nib holder, it's not natural to bend your hand like this to get the angle of the nib to go flatter to the page, so that way you don't snag. When you snag, you spread ink everywhere, and I don't want to do it with this one. But when you have an oblique nib holder, did it again, dipped my freaking hand in ink. All you have to do, instead of moving your wrist down, you just tilt your pen, and that makes it lower to the angle of the page to keep it from splatting. And you can also you see how this is an arc shape? You can bend this up or down, and you can also bend it for axe and roll. See, mine's angled up just a little bit, so that way I can get an angle, so that way I don't splatter ink all over the place. Pen without getting ink on myself this time. Woohoo! And then if you have a paintbrush, you can paint the underside of your brush with a little blob of ink. And then let's see. Probably too thick. Oh, this one doesn't want to work good. It's too thick. Come on, dang it. This one's not being cooperative. At any rate, sometimes if it's too thick, you have to add water. Sometimes if it's too thin, you have to add water. Sometimes if it's too thin, then it just doesn't look like anything. This pen isn't being cooperative. Either the pen or the ink isn't being cooperative. You gotta wash it off, wipe it down good, make sure that it's bone dry. So that way when you go back to using it, you have a nice dry nib. And this is made of steel, so if you know anything about cast iron pans, if you leave water in them, they rust. Same thing happens with spring steel. It will rust. And that sucks. Oops. That back. You can also use fountain pen ink. Let's see, do I have any available fountain pen ink? This is Private Reserve, Sherwood Green. Really pretty green ink. Being very careful. That, my friends, is a nib snap. You're angled too high, and your nib is not being cooperative. You need to lower the angle so that it doesn't resist the snap so much. Also, they run out of ink very quickly. This is why I suggested getting a fountain pen, because then you have to keep dipping it in for each little tiny bit of ways. It's not like a paintbrush where you can just continue. You get maybe 1, 2, or 3. And if you go really slow, you might be able to get some more, but and then once the eye has gotten all of its ink out, there's nothing left on it. But sometimes, my favorite 2 words, but sometimes, if you have a dead click-it pen, and you have the little spring that was in it. If I can have some cooperation. No cooperation at all. If you have one of these little springs, and if you have a sandwich bag tie, you can tie the spring to the bottom of the nib, and it will house a lot more ink, like a reservoir. Jerry-rigging your nibs 101. And I have a whole bucket of nibs here of all shapes and all sizes. So So, thank you. I thought so myself. Smart ass, I know. Such a smart ass. See, now here's where, make sure that these are clean and dry before I yammer on about fountain pens. After a little while, you're going to find that the nib is snapping and it's not smooth and it's becoming really kind of mucky looking. See the end there? You can tell that it's starting to rust. The underside is very brown with rust. That's because this is a very old nib. Do I have any new nibs? See, this is a very old nib too. It's got lots of rust. It's like completely caked on rust. And this is one of my first nibs, and I keep it just because it's the only one that works good sometimes. But it's like completely rusted, and I've even had to reshape the nib by grinding it. But it still works. This is my first nib. This is a blue pumpkin. She's 5 years old, but she still writes, so I keep her around. She's my little good luck charm. And I make really broad edge nibs, which are made for doing like huge calligraphy, but I don't do huge calligraphy, so, or like block face calligraphy, block type calligraphy. And they make like 1,000 different types of these nibs. Well, maybe not 1,000, maybe 100, maybe 100 or 200 different types of nibs. And I encourage you, if you're just starting out with calligraphy, try them all. Why not? They're $3 a piece. You can get like $10. You can get like 10 of them for $20. But you're gonna have to change them out. And if you have a fountain, well, let me just say this one thing. If you do get a fountain pen, the end bit will never rust. You won't have to replace it. You'll have the pen forever. All you gotta buy is a bottle of ink. And then you can write with it forever. I have a pen that's over 100 years old, and it still goes. So, okay, that's enough of me rambling. Go to bed. Thank you for coming. I am going to go to bed myself. The time has come to talk things. I do have one from the 90s, remember? Oh, yes, but does it have a flexible nib? See, this one has little cutouts on the side. This is the one that I was gonna send you. I might just send one to you anyway. So, go to the website, pick a color. It's got the little cutouts, and it's able to be flexed out really easy. The other one's probably not meant to be flexed out. Of course, you could do monoline calligraphy, which is, or a faux calligraphy, writing cursive and then just coloring in all the downstrokes. So, anyway. There you go. Get a fountain pen. That's your best bet. Tell me which one you want, and I'll send you one. You worked so hard and you're such a good student. I feel like there's certain people in the world who really don't. They want to learn, but they don't want to learn. You know what I mean? And then there's the people who really want to learn, but they can't afford to learn. And like, I tried to make my things free for as long as possible. So if you're interested in learning calligraphy, I have a free class on my Patreon, patreon.com/MarilynDarlingShow. And if you want to join the calligraphy class, it's only $5 a month. And then once you're done learning, you can unsubscribe. It's not going to hurt my feelings, I promise. Teachers make good students. I try. I try and do from all the angles, because that's something I never learned about when I was growing up. Okay, I'm going to bed too. That's all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.